familiar with Lost Mine of Phandelver, and how many of you are not? So, we're not going to introduce ourselves as players today, but we are going to take the moment when we get there to introduce our characters. Basically, the way this adventure starts is we just jump right in, and then as we're traveling, we'll have a moment to introduce who you are and stuff like that. So, at this point, we're going to start where all of you are Neverwinter for one reason or another. Is everybody on the first landing page there? I think I have all 5 of you, even though we're waiting for Uro to show up in a little bit. So can everybody see that page? Make sure I have all your permissions set right now.
There it is.
Can everybody see? Does everybody have sight?
Hello?
Oh, Uro is here. Okay.
Sorry, the car issue is not resolving well, so it's going to be like a pick up tomorrow sort of thing. It was just on the phone.
Ugh. Sucks.
That is terrible. I'm sorry to hear that.
It's engine repair too, so.
Alright.
Did you not use my token I gave you, Murder?
Did you send me another token besides that one? That's why I was asking.
Well, I sent you the art and then I sent you the token with it. If I remember correctly.
I'll double check real quick. I did not. That's why I was saying something earlier.
Yeah.
Now, quick question.
Yes.
Do you prefer being called murder or hobo?
Either works. Oh, I did. I think I tried to use your token, but when I shrunk it because of all the blue, your guy disappeared. So that's why I didn't use it.
If you want, I can use a different color for them.
I can use that actually for... So, here, hold on a second. I can get it real quick for you. I just did the other one, so I can roll right through this pretty quickly. Alright, so it should be coming up right now. Alright, that work for you?
Looks good to me.
Alright, and you can still see, everybody can see the landing page, right? Okay, making sure everybody... I believe the only person that has dark vision is Ngong, is that correct?
Yep, I'm the only one.
It'll be a fun time.
Apparently.
Alright.
Oh boy. Hey. Oh boy.
I have dancing lights, so that's
didn't
kind
think
of
about
like
that.
dark vision, except everyone can see
Except
you while you do it.
noticeable.
Yeah, exactly.
In a campaign called The Lost Mine.
Oh,
Think.
that's not good. That's why you get 10 torches in the Explorer's Pack.
Yeah. Between all of you, you should have enough torches to make this last. Hopefully, one of the 2 people with cantrips took light. That might help out a lot.
Yes, that would. Yeah,
I have dancing lights.
It's true, it would help.
make a pact with an eldritch god. We'll be good. But you're
Very human.
But you're not warlock yet.
Ritual
Yeah.
caster.
Okay, so we're going to be starting in Neverwinter. So all of you have a reason to be in Neverwinter, and all of you are looking basically to either make money or get out of Neverwinter. And all of you have either heard through word of mouth, been told by some people that you trust, or saw on what I consider the Adventurers board, which I put in all of my Forgotten Realms stuff. It's basically where adventurers go to find work. You can find it in the inns, you can find it in the port areas, you can find it basically all over the place. And various people will post jobs that they think adventurers might want to do. Some of it's as simple as doing caravan guard stuff. Some of it's going to find missing people. Other stuff is like a little cat's gone missing and this little girl wants to pay somebody to go find her cat. You know, just crazy, stupid stuff like that. And so all of you have heard of this job. This gentleman named Gundren Rockseeker is looking for some caravan guards. And that's all basically you get, and whatever your source was to finding this, you know it's going to Phandalin, and you know that this is a fairly trustworthy guy if you heard it word of mouth, and that he usually pays pretty well. So basically it's a meet and greet at a tavern down in the port section of Neverwinter, and all of you have basically made your way there for this meet and greet with Gundren Rockseeker. My question to you, and we will start with Belle. What time would you like to arrive to it's a noon meeting. What time would you like to arrive at this tavern inn?
Noon meeting, you say?
It is noon, yes.
Maybe 15 minutes late, probably.
Alright, so 15 minutes late.
Got a little distracted on the way.
Okay, and for you, Riker, what time would you like to arrive to a noon meeting at an inn?
Noon meeting. This is my first solo gig. I get there an hour early. I don't drink. I get my glass of water. Ready to go.
Okay, so 1 hour early for Riker. And for Shahun?
15 minutes early, ready to go.
Okay, so, well, we'll get to what's going on in a second. And Ura, what time are you looking at arriving?
Ura's probably playing there if he can manage it.
Alright.
As a result, he's probably been there since the morning.
Alright, so we'll say that you knew ahead of time and you were able to secure a gig at this place for the last couple nights. So you've got basically a room here. Basically you got room and board for your playing. So you're not making any money out of the deal, but you do have free room, you have free board, and you're able to basically play. Yep, there you go. You do get tips, so we'll give you like 5 silver pieces extra at this point. And it's probably just in coppers. It's mainly in coppers, but you've been able to trade it over to get actual silver. Remember, this is right basically at the waterfront, so it's sailors and stuff like that who don't have a whole lot of coin to tip you, but you've made a little bit of money doing it. And then Engong, what time would you like to arrive?
She's been there even since the previous night. She's just been at the tavern the whole time. She's been duking it out with other people to add sort of like friendly brawls in order to see who is better. And she's won a few, she's lost a few, but by the morning she's lost on her money. And she's probably just waking up from just whether it be alcohol-induced coma, quote-unquote, or just waking up from being unconscious, from being slugged, hard enough.
Yeah, this place, like I said, it's on the docks, basically down in the docks area. So it's figured out a fairly rough and tumble crowd, just sailors coming in and out all the times. One of the weird, interesting notes is this is a very large common room. It does offer rooms upstairs, but a lot of times what the sailors will do is they will come and they'll actually just sleep in the common room, and they typically leave like one person who draws the short straw has to like stay awake and stand guard over the rest of them as they sleep here. It's known to kind of do that, so fights break out between different crews and stuff every once in a while. But sailors can be known to basically sleep in here basically in the common room. So as you guys are, those of you that were here overnight or have been here all day, so that'd be Ura and Engong, you kind of know that basically the sailors may or may not even be paying attention to you, Ura, as you're playing during the day. You don't really not much of a desire during the daytime for playing, so most of your stuff is basically at night when it starts getting livelier and rowdier. The sailors typically get ousted shortly after dawn each day, so by the time noon comes around, there aren't a whole lot of sailors left in the place. They've been pulled out by their crews to go work and unloading and loading and stuff like that, because they have to do that as well as actually sailing the ships. And Ngong, so that your fighting stuff would have been occurring, and you could have been doing arm wrestling, and there'd be, you know, stuff amongst other more confrontational sports going on. Anytime any blade or anything's, any weapons drawn or a cudgel or anything like that, usually gets broken up by bouncers, and even the sailors kind of help police themselves, because nobody wants to be banned from here. None of the crews. Basically, the way the owner handles any outbreaks is, if he can figure out what crew or what ship the sailor's from, he basically bars anybody from that ship or that crew from coming in, and nobody wants that. So they police themselves pretty good. And you guys are sitting in there. So Ura, you'll have been here for a couple nights. When Engon walked in and saw you playing up on the stage, what did he see? So take this opportunity to describe what you look like as we move forward.
Me? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you were talk about Ura for a moment.
Well, it's gonna be both of you basically describing what you see. So.
Yeah. Pretty much you see this like beautiful yet very muscled half-orc woman, kind of like with what looks like lighter, or what looks kind of like gear meant for like hunting out in the wilderness, but nothing like as actual armor. On her back is a halberd. As for what she looks like, of course, female orcish, half-orc facial features. She's got these bright amber eyes, as well as her black dreadlocks coming down to about shoulder length. Though it is tied up in a sort of bun right at the back. And she does give off this presence of, don't mess with me, and I will deck ya. Like, not in a, like, it's kind of like, just don't mess with me in a negative way, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. And Ura, are you there?
Yeah, I would notice Ura at the very least.
Wonder if he's still there. Did we lose him?
Says doorbell.
Oh, okay.
Doorbell. Fair enough.
Okay, so we'll pass over him for a second. So the next person to arrive is going to be, I believe, see, who was it that said they're arriving 15 minutes? Was that Bell? An hour early?
I'd be last.
I said an hour early. Riker.
Okay, so Riker, an hour early as you walk in. It's 11 a.m. What were you doing the night before?
Night before, basically just asking around, trying to find a place to sleep. I'm anxious about getting this job, and kind of getting out of Neverwinter.
Okay.
So I'd probably be like barely able to sleep, like my mind on this.
Alright, so as you arrive at 11 a.m., nice, bright and early, you walk in, not very crowded. There is a bard up on stage playing their instrument. There's a half-orc female with a pack and her traveling gear off on one side, sitting at a table, a very large table, who looks up expectantly as you walk in, and then kind of goes back to ignoring everybody else. And as you make your way in, do you head to the bar? Gonna go find a seat somewhere?
Yeah, I'd probably just go, probably not to the bar, but just go find a seat and kind of somewhere where I can see the door and wait for who I'm looking for.
Okay. And then at quarter to noon, who arrives?
Yes. You see a grayish blue dragonborn with chainmail, adorned. He's pretty stern-looking face. You can tell he's been in a few battles. He's got a lot of like slash scars across his face and neck. Walks upright. You get sort of a military sense. Very good posture. Doesn't really look around too much. Just enough to kind of scope out the area with his eyes, but not really paying much attention to the bard or anything going on. Pretty stocky. Most dragonborns are. Yep, pretty much what you guys see. You may have noticed the little insignia on his cloak around his shoulders. Looks kind of like a cavalry type insignia.
Alright, and as you enter, you can see there's a couple patrons that look like they're the type that, you know, drink regularly and are already at the stage where they probably shouldn't be drinking anymore, but it looks like they'll probably be drinking long into the night anyway. And then you have a couple who look like obvious adventurers, plus a bard playing on stage. You have a half-orc sitting at a very large table, a human with gear sitting off in another elsewhere.
Oh, yeah, did you want me to describe my character? I totally...
We can come back to that at this point. And then at 5 minutes to noon, in walks a stocky dwarf, accompanied by a fairly tall human. And he looks around, kind of takes note of the half-orc, the human, and I guess and the dragonborn. And he says, "Well, I'm Gundren. I take it some of you are here for my offer." And he heads over to where the half-orc's at, obviously hoping that you're going to be involved. And he says, "What about you? You here for my my offer?"
She nods, giving a sort of this unintentionally evil-looking smile.
Excellent, excellent. Looks back over at Riker, and the dragonborn kind of pulls out a chair next to the orc, sits down. The human kind of like takes a posture over against the wall near the table, and he beckons you forth. Come on, come on, I have a good offer for you guys."
Yeah, Riker comes up and kind of goes to shake Gundrik's hand.
He stands up, stocky dwarf, you know, fairly short for a dwarf, and stocky, and says, well met, I'm Gundren."
I'm Riker. It's nice to meet you. I'll sit down.
I'll follow suit and shake his hand as well. Shahun.
Showa? Anyway, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. I'm sure we'll be getting along quite well, I hope. Then he kind of looks over at the bard. You back? Yep. Alright, so none of us have heard what you look like yet. So at this point, let's go ahead and describe you. Are you going to be joining the group?
Oh, definitely.
Alright.
It's sort of a moment where, you know, he's sort of like just caught up in a string of sheet music that he forgets the time. And the second he looks up, he can see a bunch of rough and tumble types gathered around the table. He's like, oh shit. And as he ceases playing, he'll like clasp his instrument, a very odd-looking lyre, almost nothing like seen on the Sword Coast. And as the bard descends, I took the opportunity to play the Forbidden Fruit as a 4'11", a very small bird man with these blinding blue and white feathers, almost like a peacock setup, begins to step his way over to the table. And he's dressed in these very odd, almost like hand-me-down costume attire threads. And he is sort of dragging a adventurer's bag in a single backpack, in a single, like, talon. And as he speaks up, he's like, wait! I'm here! And with that, he will sit down at the table.
Ah, excellent. Well, gents and ladies, I have for you a small job. I would like you to escort one of my wagons to the town of Phandalin. And from there, I have, or will have shortly, further need of fine folk like yourselves. I've got a whole bunch of stuff coming together, and it's only going to pay 10 gold for you guys to take my wagon to Phandalin. I'll meet you there. I'll be waiting for you, but I've got other more pressing stuff I got to go see to in the meantime. The wagon's currently being loaded over at the docks, and when it's done being loaded, I'd like you guys to take the wagon to Phandalin for me, and when you get there, see Barthen, drop all my stuff off at Barthen's Provisions. He'll pay you. He's got your money. But I'll meet you in Phandalin, and I have another job from there, which could pay considerably more. Can't really go into the specifics right now. And he looks around, kind of eyeballs one of the drunks over at the bar. And he like nods to the human that's behind him, and the human kind of walks over there. And the human says something to the guy, and the guy's, huh? And he looks back and Gunner and seems a little more self-assured, like he wanted to make sure nobody was eavesdropping on him. And he's like, yeah, lots more where this gold comes from in the future. But I've got some things I got to take care of first. Are you guys in? 10 gold to deliver some goods and a potential better investment later?
And it'll take us further inland?
Yeah, Phandalin's about 3 days travel, so it's not hard. It's just the area's been hit by bandits and stuff, and some of the shipments have been gone missing. That's why I'm sending you guys with it. Plus, I want to get some adventurers out that way, because when my other stuff comes through, I'm going to need you guys' assistance.
Yeah, good test of metal with a chance for more money. Yeah, I'm definitely in.
Your goods are safe with me.
He's like, good. He like motions over to the innkeeper who comes over and bow. The guy kind of like does a quick little bow, and he's like, yes, Mr. Rockseeker, how can I help you? He's like, make sure all these fine folk get a drink and some lunch on me today, all right? And he like tosses him what looks like a platinum piece. So he just flicks the guy a platinum piece. He's like, well, there's a shipment over at the docks right now. Barthanes has a warehouse over there where everything's being loaded up. I believe the last shipment of stuff comes in tonight at about 6. I'm just going to use regular time for you guys. So, at about eve time, so 6 p.m. Once it all gets loaded, there's only a couple things left on that. When that gets unloaded, you guys can either head out in the night, or you can wait till the next day. It's up to you guys, but I have to leave now to go take care of some stuff. And he's like, any questions for me?
I did have something for you. Engon speaks up finally. You should be careful when you head into town. There's a group of bandits in the area known as the Red Brand. Be careful, then they are more trouble than they're worth.
That's actually one of the things I gotta go see about and make sure that some of my investments are being properly looked after with those guys in town. I don't think they're gonna give us much trouble because my stuff's out of town. But thanks for the warning.
And then, what was the name of the gentleman we were dropping off these goods to?
Barthane's. Barthane's Provisions. Yeah, Mr. Barthane's got a respectable business. He's actually in Phandalin now. He's normally in the warehouse here, but his son and his wife's taking care of things on this end, and he's back in Phandalin making sure I get all my stuff that I need for this project I have coming up.
Excellent. Well, you can count on us.
And just to be sure, what exactly is it that we're transporting?
Ah,
In case something gets lost, we know what to look for.
most of it's going to be mining equipment with some basic provisions for mining operations.
I don't remember Phandalin being a mining town before.
Oh, Phandalin's been a mining town in the past, and it will be again. He gives you a little wink.
Not with she doesn't know with an intelligence of 9.
He gives you a wink like, it has been before and it will be again. The human comes over and like bends down real close to him, and you hear a little whisper going on, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm running late, guys. The stuff's already over there. We've already talked to I've already told the harbor master and Barthane's son that some people will be coming to take the stuff for me." He pulls out a piece of paper, and he's like, "Just show this to Barthane's son over down there at the warehouse. The wagon's already there with the oxen. Once they get everything loaded this evening, you guys are good to head on out, or however you guys want to do it. Your gold will be waiting when you get to Phandalin."
Perfect.
Excellent. He stands up, reaches out to shake all of your hands again.
Yep, shake his hand.
Alright, so at this point, right as he's shaking your guys' hand, in walks the last member.
Hey. Good, I'm not that late.
So you...
Right, so, a relatively young-looking human kid. I say young, barely 20, like maybe 17, 18, 19, can't really tell. Blonde hair, kind of messy, blue eyes, not wearing anything particular, just kind of regular street clothes, kind of a long leather coat. They have a cap on the head. There's a little red bandana that's kind of tied around the cap, the end sort of sticking up, that kind of looks like rabbit ears from distance. And just over the shoulder, just holding a bat. Just like a baseball bat, essentially. Like a nice light colored wood. Just kind of like walks in. It's like, oh god, am I late? I'm not late, right?
You're late.
Ah, fuck.
Oh! Another one! Well, the more the merrier. These guys have the information. I'm Gunder, and he reaches over to shake your hand too, Bell. He's like, "Gunder and Rock's here. I'm sure they'll be happy to have the assistance, but me and my buddy here, Sildar, we gotta take off. They can handle the details. If you're still in, 10 gold for you at the other end in Phandalin." With that, he departs. The innkeeper kind of looks over at you, Bell, and goes, "Oh." He yells back in the kitchen, "That's one more setting." And with that, you guys are served lunch. Bell has to wait a couple minutes for his. And the innkeeper comes up and asks you guys what you would like to drink.
Ale.
Your finest water.
Well, that depends, guys. Or when do you want to head out? Want to head out tonight, or do you guys want to wait till the morning?
I want to eat.
Of course.
Yes, but probably after we eat.
Has anyone made this trip before? Do we know how long this might
I've been down that area before. He's about
How
right
long
from
does
this
it take?
distance.
He did tell
He
you.
said about 3 days.
Yep.
He did say about 3 days, and he told you that the wagon is going to be pulled by oxen.
Got it. So last shipment gets here tonight, and then we can leave anytime after that. So do you guys want to leave tonight? Or should we wait till the morning?
I'd like to get there as soon as possible, preferably.
Here's a good question, though. How many of us can actually see in the dark?
That's an excellent question. Got my handful of torches, but other than that, I'm
I
not
can
too
see
great
fine
in
in
the
the dark.
I think it would be best if we travel during the day as much as possible.
So
second that.
So the area around Neverwinter is going to be fairly free of bandits. So it's going to be as you get farther away from Neverwinter that you're really going to have to worry about bandits and other things. So at this point, I'm going to take you guys over to the map so you can better discuss this.
We have a map?
It's the map. It's the map.
And he didn't mention anyone going with us other than us five, right?
We're just
Just
guiding
us
this.
five.
Anybody else find that a little odd? Just trusting his equipment.
Okay.
5 strangers.
Okay. All right. So
Trustworthy, right? Or like squints.
So for those of you that have done this before, this is actually the map. You guys can see the new map now?
Yep.
Alright, so I did this map for my tabletop group, and then I just scanned this in. So I would like your feedback at a later time on what you think of the map, because my tabletop group basically told me it sucks balls, and I didn't really like that answer, but that's going to do for now.
The crayon is a home touch, so
Basically, it's sized up so that the distances are fairly accurate. So if you use the measuring tool, you should be able to get the correct distances, and everything is basically set up so that you can see what's going on. That's all you really need. I didn't use the map that comes with the adventure because it shows you everything, and I didn't want you guys to see everything because that would defeat half the purpose of this adventure.
But of course.
So as you can see from Neverwinter, you'll be taking the high road to the south, as somebody's pointing out for you. And the high road is fairly safe. Not too many people screw with people traveling along the high road. It's when you get off on that Tribor trail that you're probably going to run into any trouble, if you run into any trouble at all. Bandits and highwaymen, like I said, probably not going to be really close to Neverwinter. First day you'll probably be fairly safe. You travel at oxen speed about, what is it, like 10 miles a day via oxen.
sounds about right.
So if you did leave at night and traveled all the way through the night and then kept traveling the entire next day, you would suffer a level of exhaustion. But I don't know if you guys are how familiar you are with the rules. After you do get a full night's sleep, that exhaustion would go away.
Yep. I'm familiar with that.
I mean, probably our best bet is to get a head start on the travel, because as the DM said, and he would never lie to us about these details, that the first leg of the journey along the high road at the very least is fairly safe. So we can, sleep in the wilderness here, easy peasy, I think, or sleep on the road. And then from there, we can start worrying about like a full day travel, 8 to 8, or however we want to set that up. And then a full night's rest, trying to find nice and quiet places to sleep. And then we'll reach Vandalin when we get there.
Sounds like a logical plan.
Yeah, so we'd only be sleeping twice on the road, essentially. What we'd do.
Give or take.
Sounds good to me.
Let's do it.
Because as somebody did point out earlier, they want to get there the sooner the better. The sooner you get there, the sooner you get paid. Alright, so we are going to take off. I did want to point out, I don't think, Ura, I don't think you were present earlier when I was... We're not gonna do player introductions per se right now. We just did the character stuff, so you guys all kind of know what each other look like. But as we're traveling on the trail here,
We have a bit of RP to...
yeah, you guys get to talk with each other and get to know each other a little bit. So anything that you would be, want to talk about and share as you're traveling. But we'll start with after you guys leave, you guys get your lunch, you head over. Basically, like I said, around dinner time basically is when they're just loading up the last of the supplies. And it looks like it's kegs of something that are going in last. Looks like that they were waiting on whatever these last little kegs of whatever were. Judging by the way they're carrying them, they look fairly heavy, even though they're like little pony keg size kegs. And there's 4 of them that kind of go in at the end. You got 2 oxen pulling your wagon. You guys are the drivers and the protectors, so who wants to actually be the driver, because you guys all have proficiency basically in driving a wagon with these oxen. Any volunteers?
I am not touching those animals.
I'll hop right up and grab the reins, or whatever it is.
Angon will sit beside to help guide since she's been the Phandalin before.
Alright, so who was it that said that they were taking the reins? Sorry, I'm not good with voices yet.
Shahoon.
Alright, Shahoon. So Shahoon's driving with Ngong up with Shahoon. There is actually, this is a fairly large wagon. It is not fully packed. A lot of the stuff you see is marked with what you could only assume is like a Barthane's provision. And as you guys are basically coming up on the wagon and stuff, and you figure out which one's yours, a young guy about 24-ish, is like, hey, I need to see your guys' writ.
What's on it?
Piece of paper from the person that owns this stuff.
Who are you? I heard, or is this just a guy?
Right now you don't know.
Well, is he adorned in guard member?
He is, no, he's, looks like a human dock worker. He's not, like a drunken sailor guy. He's just wearing, like, normal labor leather type stuff.
We're on the road now, or we're...
No, this is when you're grabbing, yeah, when you're picking up the wagon.
Oh, okay.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm, Sal Barthanes. Most of that stuff's from my company, and somebody's supposed to become taking it to take it to Barthane's Provisions in Phandalin. If that's you, you should have a writ from Mr. Rockseeker. Otherwise, I can't let you have that there stuff.
He did give us a writ.
Yeah, he did. He gave you a piece of paper.
He gave us a writ. Which is right here. And he points to whoever has the writ.
Alright, so you guys present the writ. He goes, yep, everything looks in good order. He hands it back to you. And from there, he just walks away and says, it's all good to go now. You guys have fun.
Is there enough food in here to feed the dumb animals?
He turns around and is like, yeah. It's that barrel right there that's marked feed. There's water in there too. There's 4 barrels of water over there.
Thank you.
And he goes off to oversee other shipments and stuff the goods being moved around off the pier and into a warehouse and all over to different wagons and stuff like that. Alright, so you guys the people who are not actually like on the front of the wagon, there's enough room in this wagon for you guys to ride in the wagon as well, so you don't actually have to walk if you don't want to. That being said, does these oxen move slow enough that you can walk beside it? I'm assuming nobody bought a horse or a donkey or a pony or anything like that.
What's money? What's money? Because I certainly don't have any.
What is this currency you speak of?
So, does anybody want to walk up in front of the oxen? Are you guys all riding the wagon?
I will. Riker will. I'll be off and on. Maybe like take an hour walk in, jump back on, take a rest for 15 or so, and then kind of back and forth a little bit.
Shahu would be pretty quiet, but keeping an eye out on the horizon to make sure nothing's coming at us, other than the typical wagon.
All right. So as you travel at night, are we lighting torches?
Will cast dancing lights, and almost like the reflector tape on a highway, it just keeps moving it ahead of the oxen.
I think Ox is capable of being able to see just fine in the dark. If anything else, she'd probably take the reins whenever it gets dark.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, your dancing lights definitely move faster than these oxen are moving. So yeah, you can pretty much. Are you gonna send them all in front of the wagon at night, or are you gonna have them like a couple in front, a couple behind?
If I may draw on the spell for a bit of display.
Go for it.
So there's like a light here, a light here, a light here, and a light here. The wagon's like moving this direction. So as the wagon creeps up, he just moves one light in front of the other.
Okay.
Moves up. So it's literally like a trail.
Okay. Excellent.
So I can't imagine the road like cuts out for the high road.
No.
Paved, right?
Yeah, the high road's paved. What you guys that are holding the reins notice, these oxen know where they're going. So when you basically pick up the reins and like just hold them, you don't have to do anything with it. As soon as the reins get picked up, the oxen start walking. And you don't ever have to like try to like steer them or anything. They know where they're going. They've made this trip a time or two. And as it gets dark, they kind of stop for a second and look back at you. And then they turn and they just keep going.
Yeah, sorry guys, not this time.
Kind of as
For the night.
what the hell are you doing? You don't know what's going on, do you? And then they just keep going. It's like,
It'd be better if we got closer to handle it before we rest.
alright, so as we travel, I will give you guys a moment. Basically, you exit out of Neverwinter. The big city leaves behind you. You guys are kind of tense for a moment, like as you're exiting the city with the press of the crowds around. But after that, no one around. Obviously, all the foot traffic kind of petals out as you travel farther away from Neverwinter. Nobody's like rushing into town or anything like that at this time of day, and almost nobody's leaving at this time of day either from Neverwinter. So you pretty much have the road to yourselves at this point. Are we quiet? Are we?
Hell no.
I did not think so.
Ura is a bird in all sense of the word. And he is stir crazy. So he'll be flying.
That's kind of what I expected.
He'll rest in the wagon. He'll walk. He'll go back to the wagon. He'll start playing music. And then he'll start bombarding people with questions. Starting with, we'll say, Sahun. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
It's Shahoon.
Shahoon!
Yes, what do you want, bird?
It's in tight.
I've seen a lot of lizard folk back where I'm from.
Lizard folk?
Yes, you got the scales, you're blue.
No.
No.
I am a dragonborn bird.
News to me. What does it mean to be a dragonborn? Who's your parent?
I do not know my parents.
Well, that's sad. So how do you know you're a dragon then?
didn't say I was a dragon.
You said you're dragonborn. It's in the name.
Yes. It's quite a long story.
Well, it's a long trip.
It is. Best taken quietly.
Best to take it quietly. And with that, he flies up into the air.
You guys have probably noticed that Riker is like visibly, like physically relieved to be out of Neverwinter and just be like out on the road.
You didn't describe your character, did you?
I did not, actually.
All right, now is the perfect time for you to go back and
Yeah.
describe him.
So, Riker is kind of young adult, late 20s, early 30s, looking.
Man.
Hmm? Human. Really short, like cropped hair, like cut, yeah, really, really short. Looks like tried to shave, but didn't have anything too great to use for this job. All his armor is heavier armor, and it looks like it's got his own like little personal touch on it, but it is kind of like bits and pieces put together. It's not like the greatest work ever. And carries a big old glaive as his favorite weapon on his back. That's about it.
All right. The two of you up front that are, do you guys have a little chit chat amongst yourselves too, or?
Not initiated by Shahoon.
Is that pretty?
Everyone's mostly focused on the road, making sure that there's no ambushes up ahead.
I would like to take this time to ask, does anybody have a ranged weapon out?
Nope.
If you quantify ranged weapons to include magic, then yes.
Yes, I heard you had your instrument out, so that's your foci, I assume.
Yeah, I would have my focus out.
I have a hand axe on my belt that I could throw, but that's about it.
I guess symbol, holy symbol, whatever.
I have spiky things I can throw, but that's about it.
Okay, so yes, the first night passes fairly uneventfully. You don't hear anything or see anything odd. You guys travel through the night and make some good time. Travel through the next day. I'm assuming you guys are stopping every once in a while to use the restroom, feed the animals, feed yourselves.
Yeah.
The method of travel you have, pretty much you can feed or you can eat your rations or whatever you need in the wagon as you're going, so it's not that big of a deal. But you guys can take a moment to like just stretch your legs and stuff like that. We're gonna say you make, what is it, 20? Let's see where you guys go to get to.
Say we're also like paying attention to the oxen because we know they don't usually get pushed this hard.
Yeah.
Actually, they're getting worn out.
So we'll say do your overnight travel and whatever, you're gonna get to this spot right here, which is basically 25 miles in. At the pace you pulled, you might be able to, if you push it the next day, you'd arrive, what is that? Yeah, you'll have to spend one more night on the road-ish. Somewhere probably right in here is best you can hope for.
I think we'd prefer to spend the night on the high road
Yeah, I mean, it'd be better.
before we head into the Tribord Trail.
Okay, so we're gonna camp at this last spot right where the Tribord Trail ends. Right before you travel the tribe. Okay, so Alright, so you travel that the next day as well. No issues.
At some point, Ura is going to try and drum up conversation again, if permissible. So,
Go.
what are your names?
Pipe down, bird.
I am piped down. You want to hear me screech? I can do that. No.
Yeah, no. Don't do that. I'm Riker. Reach out my hand.
Riker. Ura accepts. I'm Brett.
Oh, you're what? Excuse me?
Brett.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with your language.
Brett.
Is there a...
No one else. You can get it right. Just call me Ura. It's fine. It's fine.
Ura. Okay, yeah, Ura I can do. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh,
It's been
beautiful.
time around your species.
I'll same for you. You lived around here? Riker?
Yeah, I'm actually from Thunder Tree. Spent most of my life in Neverwinter, though.
Wow. What caused you to leave?
Just looking to get out and make a name for myself. You know.
I can understand that, let me tell you.
Yeah. Well, what are you doing out here? You seem like the more kind of artistic type.
I wasn't appreciated back home. Far too talented. So I left. But my teacher was so wise, and she told me, Ura, you have to go and show the world your talents. And so here I am, halfway across the world, in a wagon. The people keep staring at me.
So what are you doing out here on the road then? Shouldn't you be in some
I'm
a
exploring
tavern?
the world. And if I have to make money doing it, so be it. I'm just moving inland. I hope to see Cormir one day. I heard they have purple dragons.
You wouldn't want to run into any dragons.
Well, not the ones I know of, but I heard purple ones are pretty nice and noble.
Yeah, well,
They even come at night.
I haven't come across a dragon I appreciate. I mean, no offense to you guys, as Riker looks over to Shimoon.
Yeah, could catch their air. He's a dragon.
oh,
Again, I am not a dragon.
excellent stuff.
He looks like one.
Alright.
That's not wrong.
Who speaks up?
Engong spoke up.
Well, hello, Angon. How do you spell your name? It's really weird.
She thinks. She thinks some more. Let us?
Yes, with letters.
You're a funny one. Yes, letters. Unless you know of a different way to spell.
She kind of looks off to the side, not sure what to say there.
Oh, that's an impressive weapon. Can I take a look at your halberd there?
Sure, she says as she takes her halberd out and hits it to you. Careful.
Oh,
She's a soft one.
yeah, no, I know my way around these kind of weapons. It's some of my favorite here. Very impressive. Give it back.
Got a nice weapon on you too.
Thank you.
Alright, so over these this almost 2 days now, or almost 3 days, I suppose, you guys have noticed that the wagon is indeed packed full of mining supplies, food, sacks of flour, casks of salted pork, kegs, what probably is ale or something, shovels, picks, crowbars, lanterns, and the last ones you're assuming are probably the last ones loaded was probably oil of some sort. There's also feed for the oxen and water. I think I said that as well. So you guys were able to see that stuff as you were traveling. And as we move forward, hold on, my thing's jumping around.
Now that we're on the trail proper, Angkong's not gonna ride beside the person who's driving, but rather walking beside the oxen.
Okay.
With the weapon out and ready, but kind of using it like a walking stick for now, unless something actually happens.
Alright, so Angong's up with the oxen.
Seeing that Engong's up front and that Shahun is driving, right?
Yeah.
Riker's gonna probably take up the rear. Just cover the back that way. The three stockiest members are kind of spread out. Knowing that we're going into quote-unquote uncharted territory, a little bit, a little bit more dangerous territory.
Any bandits who are stupid enough to try and attack us?
Alright, and what about Bell and Ura? Where are you guys at?
About to find out. He's over.
Alright.
Alright, so Ura's in the back of the wagon dozing. Bell?
Kinda just doing wide circles just around, since I figure I'm fast enough to be able to do that. Just kinda going on the right side, and after a bit, just moving over to the left, so on and so forth as we move.
Bunch of tiny.
ADD.
I'm just keeping an eye out straight ahead.
Every so often you just hear her go like do these weird like whistle songs.
Alright, so as you might expect, on the Tribor Trail, you run into a problem.
Go figure, huh? It's like we were hired for something.
Oh my god, who could have foreseen such an issue? I am blind.
I
Oh,
see myself.
that's right. I need to give you guys... It is daylight, so...
Combination of, yeah.
What kind of help?
Behold the darkness inside us all.
If you stare too long.
There you go.
I like maps.
Alright, so the good news is, all of your sight works from when it's dark. I assume Ngon could see during that period?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you guys are walking along. You notice the road turns at a hill up in front of you, and there is what appears to be a couple dead horses.
Just call out to everybody who isn't able to see it. Hey, got problems. Alrighty.
I'll try to stop the ox by pulling back.
Okay, yep, you pull back and they come to a stop, and this is where we're at.
Riker kind of immediately looks off the road, just glances around, make sure there's nothing waiting for us here.
This
There's an initiative counter.
Gee, I wonder what's coming. Man, it could
I sure.
like I don't know.
we should seek cover until we can figure out what's going on.
What's happening? Oh my god!
There are dead horses in front of you.
Are we rolling for initiative, or is that just there to frighten us of what is to come?
You may go ahead and roll initiative now if you'd like. So we can see who goes in what order as you approach these things. Because I'm assuming you're approaching dead animals. They're not skeletons. They're not
Initiative.
emaciated or anything like that. They're just dead horses. 2 dead horses.
That dex.
Looks as though. Okay.
And there is what appears to be, I don't know if you guys can see that.
Oh, I was able to see it. I'm not sure about the other stuff.
There is what appears to be a bag between the horses with some it's open and you can see like some contents that have been spilled out. Can't really make it out from here. At least clothes. You can see some clothes.
I think Riker would just yell out, like, keep your eyes open, guys. This looks like a trap. Nobody just blocks off a road like this.
Yeah. Definitely smells fishy.
Is this elevated? Past the.
Yes, this area down in here, so as it goes up, this is like a tiered area, and then this next area up is even more tiered.
Okay, so this is uphill, correct?
Yes, those are hills right there, so if you were to, you could run up there, it's not a cliff, you could run up there, it would just be difficult terrain.
That's easy to see. Yep, that's easy to see, okay. Hey. I'm gonna go check what's going on up there. Anybody backing me up?
Yes, I'll go with you.
Or does a little bird salute?
Alright. Well, yeah. Technically. Yeah, technically, there's one person who goes before me according to initiative list. Goblin! Not a goblin.
You see nothing.
Can you guys see that on the
It's
list?
not a gnome or a gnome, but it's a.
Yeah.
No,
It popped up in the chat.
It popped up.
Oh.
You,
Forgot to put it onto DM.
yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, I don't
It's
know what you're
just a
talking
pair
about.
of
Goblins are so bad.
Oh, I thought I heard something, but never mind, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
Nothing at all.
I didn't want to send all my stuff to me, but
Couldn't be goblins. Alright. Well, there's one person who goes first.
hello.
Gee willikers, this is a situation that I don't really enjoy being in. Just go over here, take some cover. 'Cause why not?
alright. Belle, what is your passive perception?
12?
It's the orange one, yeah.
12. Yeah.
Why does the barbarian have a higher wisdom than the monk?
Because I rolled real bad.
Oof. I feel bad for you.
And also because I'm not proficient in perception.
Nah, that's fair.
Alright, so as you approach and you take cover behind that there rock,
Taking dodge action because, yeah.
alright, Ura.
So Ura is in danger mode, and his training in the monastic lifestyle has prepared him for evasive maneuvers. And so he immediately looks for tree cover Roughly how tall is like this batch of trees? It's like 20 feet tall, higher.
These trees, yeah, they're the ones immediately to your left there. They're probably about, yeah, between 20 and 40 feet tall.
So he's gonna pick one that, I don't know, the middle height, so about 30 feet.
Okay.
And then with his good old wings, he's gonna fly up there. So he basically has like the bird's eye view from tree cover. And he's just gonna look out and try to see if there are any would-be assailants hiding about.
Is that your action, so you want to make a perception check?
Yes, please.
Alright, go for it.
Here we go.
Yeah. This bodes well for the future.
Oh boy.
That is all I really have at this moment.
Alright. Engong.
Yep. So 30 feet of movement. There's the feet right there. Okay, so it's still technically. Alright, so about there. Just double checking here. Yeah. And Engong's going to move there. She's going to have her weapon out, of course. And she's going to keep an eye on the area around her as she is approaching this.
Alright, so as you get right there, you can see right here, you see like something's hiding in this brush over here.
Do I see our monk here?
Yes.
I motion to her and point on the other side of the spot that she's currently at. Well, let's just straight that, hey, check that out. But silently, of course.
Alright, anything else on your turn before we move on?
Weapon ready, just in case if anything tries to pop out of the bushes.
Alright, Shahun.
I'll hop off the old wagon. Is that extra movement or anything like that?
Nah.
Alright, and I'll come in behind here, and I'll pull out my shield, and I guess take the dodge action.
Riker.
Okay, so I'm gonna move up along here. I'd like to like kind of hoist myself up on the edge of this and then kind of like scan the southern kind of tree line.
Okay. Perception check, I assume?
18.
Yes, you can also see in there, there's definitely something small that is attempting to hide over in here. Maybe even two things.
Oh, okay. Do I see the monk kind of, did I see that kind of motioning in the monk heading in that direction?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm not gonna like alert them or anything. I noticed that they have, and I'm gonna kind of just hop back off and stay right around here near the oxen.
Okay. Bell.
Alright, here we go. We're gonna go in here. Do I see anything immediately?
At this point, your passive perception is not high enough to see them, mechanically speaking, so you would have to spend an action to try to find them or just wait for them to pop out. It's your choice.
Even though I kind of pointed out a general vicinity of where they were.
Yeah, because his past perception's too low.
That's fair.
I'll just move about a little bit. See if I can.
Yeah, you could try to stumble into him if you wanted to. Alright, stop right there.
Ah! There we go.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Put him on through the grass.
What? I was actually thinking Final Fantasy 1.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so you ran right into them, so now you can see them.
Fantastic.
I believe you still have your action as well, so go.
Yep.
That's
Bonus action. Yeah, well, since I say a thing and it's green and it's trying to hide, it's obviously set up an ambush. I'm gonna take a swing with that.
Okay, go. They do have shields.
Ah. Man. 17.
Hits.
Fantastic.
Man, they're goblins.
Crunch. That.
That's a nice sucker punch.
Archangel.
Oh, that's not a sucker punch. That's sucker punch.
Oh, yeah, fair. Big archangel. What?
That'll definitely hit.
Bonk.
And
Kill him.
Ooh,
he's down.
ooh.
Just run up with the bat out. Just smack him in the head with it. And then just with the other hand, just let go and just uppercut him into his friend.
Alrighty.
Good job, Negan.
Yep. Alright, that's me.
Hey, Goblin's turn.
Goblin.
Stab. Maybe.
He moves up.
Oh, yeah, that'll hit.
Ooh.
Level 1 combat, here we go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that's not actually.
And that was his turn.
Thankfully.
I know how to do math.
Alright. Ura.
So I am 30 feet up in this tree. However, can I see the kerfuffle that is currently going on with my dear monkish friend?
Yes, that rock is only like right between you and Bell there. That rock is only like a couple feet high.
Yep. So Ura's going to set his sights upon the goblin and pulling out a feather, he'll like twirl it in his hand as he thinks of an adequate insult before he just says something in Aarakocra, which is just like bird chatter. And it needs to give me a DC 12 wisdom saving throw.
Why not just talk like a parrot?
Do I look like a parrot?
Hang on, wouldn't say yes.
Alright, so it's 3.
Sorry.
Very specifically look like a parrot.
Alright, and
I prefer the term peacock given godly form. But yes, so with a fail, he takes 3 points of psychic damage, and his next attack.
is it yeah, yep. Alright. If he gets another one.
Yeah,
Engong.
Yep. Seeing Gobbo there. Moving the range. Moving there. And attacking the goblin.
Alrighty.
So flanking. How do you want to do flanking?
We're not doing flanking.
Oh, we're not?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to double check before anything.
Good man.
Because you never know. So. I think that's going to hit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure min damage is gonna kill him.
I need max.
That'll do it. Alright.
pretty
Oh.
good.
Minimum damage to kill him. Well,
I
what
feel
about
so
that?
bad for that goblin.
I don't. He fucking shanked me.
But he did deserve all that damage.
I
Alright.
mean, he deserved an adequate amount of damage.
Shahoon, I believe it is your turn.
It is. I will.
The two goblins seem to have been defeated.
I will come up. Can I see the monk from here?
Yes.
Probably. Okay. I'll mutter a few words of prayer and, as a bonus action. I'll throw out some healing.
That is some nice healing.
Nice.
I will head up.
Thanks.
Riker.
So nice.
Alright, a little upset that I didn't get in the action here. I am going to move my 30 feet. And then I will go ahead and use my action to dash. And I'm going to start heading towards high ground here. There.
Alright.
It's my turn.
Bell.
Is that all of them?
You don't see any more at the moment.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well. Now this right here, that's like an actual rock that has
Yeah, that's a rock.
features.
It's a hill and that's a rock, yeah, sitting right there on as it goes up that hill.
And
It's an-
try and get as much cover as I can while I'm looking in this bag.
Okay.
What's in the bag?
There is a scroll case that is empty, and there are some clothes, travel clothes, the size of a dwarf might wear.
Hint, hint.
Oh no. What a precarious situation.
I think the plot happened, guys.
Dun dun dun.
Plot has progressed forward in a direction. Anyway, I don't know if that took my action or not, or
Yeah,
whatever.
I'll give you an item interaction, so you're digging through that.
Alright. Then we'll just go ahead and stay alert, take dodge, just in case there's anything still around.
Okay. Which is a good thing you took the dodge action.
There they are. Oh fuck, archers.
And they both seem to be letting loose at you.
Ah, I see.
Good thing about that dodge action.
Yeah.
That dodge action just saved your behind.
I mean, it still hit. But
Not a
One's gonna hit, and the other one's gonna miss. So you're gonna take 7 piercing damage.
yeah.
And there are now 2 goblins up on the hill here. And it is Ura's turn.
Does Ura see the goblins
Yes,
from their cover?
you can now see them. They've got a slight cover, so it's gonna be what, the -2 AC or the +2 AC.
Ura's just gonna shout mean words. So
Okay.
move
Which
fly
one?
over to this patch of trees. I'm assuming it's of equal, give or take.
Yeah, it's all the big ones are about the same size.
Okay, so he's still about 30 feet up. He goes, rests on a branch, and then he is going to look right over to this one. And in another flurry of Aarakocra, just going. And take a wisdom save. It's a failure.
That's a -1. Oh wait, no, that's a 2.
Next attack at disadvantage, and it takes 4 psychic damage.
His brain seems to be hurting.
And does the climb here look particularly difficult?
It is going to impose difficult terrain for basically going across it, so one of those steps basically is going to count as 10 foot of movement instead of 5.
Okay.
Same thing, so...
In that case, is just going to shake his head and go, "Oh, you poor things that have to walk." And end his turn.
Engong.
Yep. So that'd be. I'm just trying to do some math here. So it would start here. So that'd be 10, 20. That'd be.
I'd say to get to there would be an extra, like, if you're going straight up to him, it'd be an extra 10 feet because it's an extra 5, and then another extra 5.
Okay. Because I was thinking of just double moving to there.
Yeah, I believe that's in your range because...
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. That's all. So yeah, that's pretty much my turn, just getting up to there.
Yep. And do you see the facial expression of that goblin like, oh, uh-oh, what'd I get myself into? Shahoon.
Just gives like this kind of like wicked smile, like, yeah, you know what's coming.
Like he was...
Sorry.
The goblin right in front of you, Ngong, was trying to reload his bow, and he actually dropped like 2 arrows on the ground while he was trying to, like, as you're scrambling up that hillside. And Shahoon.
Since I can't reach him, I'll step here and let forth a sacred flame. For whopping 1 damage.
Level 1 struggles.
Whopping 1. Well, at least his goblins are rolling low so far.
And then I'll step back behind this rock. How big is this rock? Full cover, roughly?
If you crouch down, which would essentially be the same as going prone, I'll give you disadvantage against him, or it's -5.
Crouch.
Plus 5 AC.
Okay.
Okay, and I believe it is now Riker's turn.
So, see the goblins up the hill. I'm going to take off. This is 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'm going to turn and swing my glaive toward the goblin on my north side.
That definitely hits.
For 9.
That definitely kills him.
And then as a bonus action, Wait, crap. How far did I go? I think I went 25. 5. This is 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Nope, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all
Alright. Bell.
Alright, I'm gonna go kill this guy. Alright. I figure 25 even with plus 20, 10, 20, yeah. What it gives me. I still have 5 feet of movement because I'm mad.
Okay.
This guy's, yeah, he's gonna lose his head, maybe. We'll see. Fucking roll. Okay, apparently not. I can kick him, though. That is an option I have.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely hit.
Be gone.
He is gone.
So, swing in his head, and when he ducks, just, like, come around with the foot. Just...
Well, I guess the goblins are all dead. No survivors for goblins.
Cool.
What you guys do notice, I will go ahead and point this out because I believe Ngong's got a high enough perception. There's a trail, an obvious trail, heading up in this direction from these guys. Like heading up and north.
Alright. For now, though, I'm just gonna start returning back to here. We'll see what's going on in the general vicinity.
Okay.
Down from the tree. Good job, good job.
Like, you did anything? All you did was squawk.
Yep, that's what I do.
And I believe you said you guys are looting goblins?
Why not? Why wouldn't we?
Alright, so off of each goblin you'll find 2 coppers each, so that's a grand total of 8 coppers. Terrible, terrible weapons,
Making money already.
Okay.
and a single solitary candle.
I want that candle.
There we go.
Go get
Make it
no
easy.
arguments for me.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Crap gear, like.
And with that, you watch her open up a bag in his backpack, and he sticks the one candle in with a bunch of other candles.
These horses were, like I'm going to assume they're fairly fresh. They haven't been here more than a day or so.
Is it possible for me to make a survival check to see how long they've been dead?
Yes.
5. Yeah, no.
But also, I could investigate and try to figure out what happened here.
Well, they're dead.
It's fairly easy to determine what happened here. You can see obvious arrows in the horses. You can see drag marks going this way and then up to the trail. And
I had noticed that was a trail up there. Points towards the trail direction. Whenever
oh, I forgot to point out a very important piece of loot here. A backpack. There's a backpack, a scroll case. Yup, that backpack indeed. So you now have, whoever picks up the backpack has a backpack, a set of travel clothes fitted for a dwarf, and an empty scroll case.
Nice.
we should put the backpack onto the wagon just to be safe.
Does the clothing look familiar?
No, it's not what Gundren was wearing, but it's about that size of a human, or humanoid. That size of a person.
Is there any kind of markings or anything on the bag or the scroll case that may link?
Ah, yes. On the fitted end of the scroll case, where there'd be like an emblem of something, it says Rock Seeker.
Well, shit. Alright, guys. So, I'm thinking if we want to get paid for all this, we may have to go take a look down this path. And Gundren might be in trouble.
Should we pull the wagon off into the bushes first?
That's a good idea.
Yes. Does somebody want to help me
Well, what about the
move
opposite?
these horses out of the way?
What about the sea? What about the creatures that pulled the carriage? Shouldn't we have them graze on this bit while we're going? Don't want to have them tied up the whole time.
Well, we can give them a little bit of slack and give them a little food and water, kind of set it down, and they should be okay. Just give them enough slack to where they can lay down, fall asleep, get a rest. I don't think they'll get ambushed or anything if we just get them off the trail. Seeing as how we're following the trail that the goblins should be coming from anyway, I don't think that anybody would flank around and come after them. I don't know, thoughts, guys?
Sounds good.
Hiding the animals would be a good idea, particularly if there are more of these goblins around. If they're anything like the Pateri, they're crafty little cretins.
It's in tight.
Okay. So now that we have a game plan, each night, since we're planning on going from 11 to 2, somewhere around, like, I want to take one break every night and give you guys a second in case anybody needs to use the restroom, or if you're getting late and you need to just do something. So before you head off, do we want to take a short rest before we travel the trail? Or
It's technically fine since she hasn't used anything particularly.
Would recommend looking at Belle with the blood coming out of the shoulder. I would recommend taking a quick break. Ow.
Yeah, we could do that. Do you want to step off the road first?
Yeah, I'll work on moving the wagon off the side of the road.
that's
Bengong would help with the wagon.
was gonna say I was gonna ask Angong to help me drag these kind of horses out of the way, just to make enough room to get the wagon and oxen through.
That's basically what I was going to get at, is moving the horses out of the way, looting these goblins, and hiding the wagon is all going to take roughly almost the amount of time that you would need a short rest, as long as Bell's not actively doing all that stuff, and he's the only one that I think needs it. So,
Perfect. Yes. I am the only person who's taking damage. Doesn't bode well for the future.
alright, so, as players, we're also going to take a break here at this point before we move forward. So I'm going to slide you guys back to the starting page, and I'll see you guys, give you guys about 5 minutes, and see you back here in 5 minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
We're going to take our break now as well, and we'll see you back in about 5 minutes.